Hello, welcome back to American Political Reaction. Trump sheds tears as he finally gives up on his political ambition today. According to information uncovered by the Detroit News, President Donald Trump personally ordered 2 Republican members of the Wayne County Board of Canvassers not to sign the 2020 presidential election certificate. This was revealed in an intriguing public call on November 17, 2020, which also included chairwoman of the Republican National Committee Ronna McDaniel. Trump informed Republican Wayne County pollsters William Harmon and Monica Palmer that they would look terrible if they signed the paperwork after they had first voted against it, and then later that same meeting had voted to support the certification of the county's election results as Piper. Please hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications to start receiving daily breaking news from us. We must fight for our country, as stated. I will explain everything in this video. Thank you. Trump on the recordings. A gift given by someone during the conversation with Palmer and Hartman. We cannot allow these people to steal our nation. Palmer and Hartman left the Palmer meeting without signing the official statement of votes for Wayne County. The following day, they unsuccessfully attempted to revoke their votes for certification by filing legal affidavits claiming they were coerced. Had they been successful, Trump had threatened to throw the statewide certification of Michigan's 2020 election into doubt. Daniel, a native of Michigan and the head of the Republican faction, said at one more point in the call, "If you can go home tonight, don't sign it. We will get you lawyers too." Trump responded, "We'll handle that." The information about the call with the former president was made public at a time when he is being charged with 4 counts of criminal conspiracy to prevent Democratic nominee Joe Biden's 154,000 votes from being certified by the U.S. and its citizens. Triumph in Michigan are a crucial component of the prosecution. Records examined by the news revealed that the call between Trump, McDaniel, Hartman, and Palmer occurred during the Wayne County Board of Canvass meeting that concluded on November 17, 2020, lasting at least 30 minutes. The recordings also showed how directly Trump, as president, collaborated with Republican officials in Michigan to try to undermine Biden's victory, and how some of his efforts had remained undisclosed as he began a campaign to retake the White House in 2024. Neither Palmer nor McDaniel, nor Trump, through representatives, questioned a summary of the call when contacted by the news. Harmon died in the year 2021. Sources provided the information to the news on the condition that they not be publicly identified, motivated by fear of retaliation from the former president or his allies. The news listened to audio that was recorded in 4 recordings by someone who was present for the conversation between Trump and the canvasses. Information came to the news through an intermediary who also heard the recordings, but who was not present when they were made. Palmer received calls from McCarthy at 9:53 and 10:04 p.m., according to Verizon phone records that were obtained by a U.S. House committee. The timestamp of the first recording was nighttime at 9:55 p.m. On No. 17, 2020. Trump's actions, according to campaign representative Stephen Chong, were made to fulfill his responsibility as the country's leader to uphold the law and maintain election integrity, including looking into the rigged and stolen 2020 presidential election. Both President Trump and the American people are entitled by the Constitution to free and fair elections. According to Chong, Palmer acknowledged receiving the news that she and Hartman had taken a call from Trump while in a car. She added that other people may have entered the vehicle and heard the conversation, but she was unable to identify them. Palmer repeatedly told the news that she couldn't remember what was said during the call between Trump and McDaniel. McDaniel, a resident of Wayne County, stated that she was sticking by her previous push for a review of the Michigan political race. She and Michigan Republican Party Executive Laura Cox made this request in a No. V21 2020 letter to the Board of State Canvasses. At that time, I repeatedly and publicly stated, as mentioned in my letter on November 21, 2220, that there was more than sufficient evidence to support a recount. In a statement, McDaniel said, yet Jonathan Kinloch, a Democratic member of the Wayne County Board of Canvassers in November 2020, what do you think about this subject? Please comment and give your opinion, and let's discuss. It was stated in the comments that whatever happened on the call with Trump was crazy, and that it was shocking that the U.S. president was actively working to obstruct the election process. Kinloch went on to become county commissioner despite McDaniel's advice to request a recount or refuse to sign the certification. In accordance with Michigan law, county clerks were required to compile a statement of the votes cast in their counties and forward the results to the Secretary of State's office. Approximately 18% of Michigan residents live in Wayne County, where 878,000 votes were cast in the November 2020 election. Palmer has previously stated that she left the No. V7 2020 Wayne County Board of Canvass meeting without actually signing the certification because she was genuinely concerned for her safety. Palmer said to reporters at the time that she summarized the conversation between Trump and her on November 17, 2020, as a thank you for your service. I'm relieved you're safe. Enjoy your evening. At a hearing in September 2021, Palmer told the U.S. House's Select Committee to investigate the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol that she was unable to recall the exact words that Trump used on the call and whether he raised issues related to the election. However, in the days following the call on November 17, 2020, Palmer and Hartman publicly attempted to rescind their votes and claimed extraordinary harassment and pressure, in addition to bad legal advice, forced them to agree to certify the election after they had voted no. Trump was clearly focused on the 2020 election, as evidenced by the recordings that the news examined, which included 4 minutes of a longer conversation that may have lasted at least 11 minutes based on phone records. According to the recordings, Trump claimed that Republicans had been duped in this election and that everyone knew Detroit was as corrupt as hell. McDaniel claimed that the public would never learn what transpired in Detroit and that no one could sign a document when there are more votes if Houth and Palmer certified the election without requiring a recount. Compared to people according to the recordings, Trump requested the canvasses. The worst news of Trump's and his legal team's lives was delivered to them in court today when Trump's own appointed judges threw him under the bus. Please pay close attention to this story, as it will undoubtedly brighten your day. But before I do, please click the subscribe button and enable notifications to receive daily updates on political news. Jeffrey Clark, a co-plaintiff in the Fulton County, Georgia court case with former President Donald Trump, suffered a serious legal setback. This week, as Newsweek reported on Sunday, December 24, 2023, the development took place when 3 judges on the 11th Circuit U.S. Court of Appeals rejected Clark's request to have his Fulton County case stayed while he attempted to move it to federal court. The fact that 2 of the panel's judges, Robert J. Luck and Andrew Brasher, were nominated by the former president himself, and that Judge Robin S. Rosenthal was appointed by former President Barack Obama, adds another level of complexity to this decision. The crux of the Clark-Saller case rested on the argument that it was absurd for the Fulton County trial to continue, while the 11th Circuit considered whether the case should be heard in federal court. A stay of the Fulton County trial was requested by Clark's legal group while they awaited the resolution of their petition to transfer the case to federal court. Notably, Clark worked for the U.S. Department of Justice as an environmental attorney prior to becoming embroiled in legal issues. The Fort Newton County prosecution, which has named Trump and other individuals for their alleged involvement in attempts to tamper with the 2020 election results, is the backdrop of this legal drama. Notably, the prosecution has accused Trump and 18 other defendants of violating Georgia's Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organizations Act. Throughout the proceedings, both Trump and Clark have continuously insisted on their innocence. However, the legal situation has grown increasingly complex as some co-defendants, like Sidney Powell, have come forward. The investigation came to an end when Jenna Ellis and Kenneth Chesebro chose plea deals, leaving Clark and Trump to navigate the legal waters together. This led to the impaneling of a separate grand jury with the authority to issue criminal indictments. Judges rejected Clark's attempt to rely on the special purpose grand jury proceedings for an automatic stay after this grand jury returned the indictment against him. The fact that Clark's motion was denied provides insight into the legal tactics applied in this intricate case. The three-judge panel's filing highlighted the grand jury's independence, asserting that the proceedings are independent of one another and that Clark cannot depend on the special purpose grand jury proceedings to automatically obtain a stay. As one of Trump's key defendants in the Fulton County case, Harry Litman, the former Deputy Assistant Attorney General, provided insights into the possible dynamics at play and suggested that Clark might be thinking about cooperating with prosecutors. Litman made some educated guesses about the possible effects on the legal system, pointing out that the lawyers who had previously argued had structured their pleas to reduce the possibility of losing their legal licenses. Clark, who faces a comparable risk, may try to bargain with the Fannie Willis office of the Fulton County District Attorney. This rumor picks up steam after Clark himself alluded to the possibility in a previous post on X. Last month, a court filing detailing Clark's impending bar discipline trial was posted on Twitter. Given this, the possibility that Clark could work out a deal with the prosecution adds an intriguing element to the story. Procedural errors against special counsel John Luman Smith, aka and Jack Smith, have been reported, adding a dimension to the unfolding legal saga and raising questions about the justice system's fairness. The argument revolves around Smith's nomination procedure, with critics pointing out potential flaws that could compromise the integrity of the special counsel's findings. Exclusive stories highlighting procedural errors in John Luman Smith's appointment have been published by the Gateway Pundit. If you found this video insightful, please give us a thumbs up, and until next time, thank you for watching American Politics. These allegations cast doubt on the legitimacy of Smith's appointment as special counsel by suggesting that mistakes may have occurred in the process preceding his nomination.